A fresh cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee doesn't just fall into your hands like that every day. It takes a lot to make that great cup of coffee that you probably don't even know about.
So, what goes into making this great cup of coffee?
I'll tell you. Coffee is produced in countries like Brazil and Colombia because of the high elevation, the moisture, sun, and shade in the environment. It has the ideal conditions for the best production of coffee beans. Coffee beans are the seeds within coffee cherries that are planted by workers, then taken care of through weeding around it, feeding it organic fertilizers, and protecting it from diseases and infestation for around 5 to 20 years. This is clearly a lot of work for these workers for the money that they make. And once time has passed, the coffee cherries are harvested, processed, dried, milled, grinded, roasted, and brewed.
Since there is no shortage of coffee bean production in countries like Brazil and Colombia, coffee bean producing plantations are lowering their prices in an attempt to sell their beans to coffee corporations. As a result, plantation owners must lower the wages of their workers in order to get a higher profit. Workers are being paid very little for their high labor jobs. A majority of coffee farmers aren't capable of supporting their families because they don't have enough money to do so. This is where fair trade comes into play. Fair trade guarantees the farmer a fair price for their amount of labor. But these fair prices are at least $1.60 per kilogram farmed, which gives the worker more money to support their families. These fair trade laws are still working for the profit of coffee corporations, not for the farmers. When you pay for a Dunkin' Donuts black coffee, your money is not going to the farmer and to his family, but to the owners of the Dunkin' Donuts Corporation.
The environmental impact of creating coffee bean plantations is deforestation. Deforestation is the destruction of land in order to make something new on that land. This is bad for the environment because it causes a decrease in population of the wildlife in Brazil and Colombia. The economical impact of coffee production is that farmers are paid very low wages in order to gain profits for coffee corporations, even under the fair trade laws. These low wages make the lives of these workers and their families rough, when they really shouldn't be so rough. There are three ways of transporting coffee beans: by ship, truck, and train. They are packaged in woven bags of 70 kilograms. These bags are then loaded up into containers that can hold 24,000 kilograms. These three ways of transporting the coffee beans affect the environment in a negative way through pollution. Pollution isn't good because it releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which can cause global warming.
As you can see on screen, local farmers sell their Arabica beans at $2 per kilogram, and then in wholesale, Dunkin' Donuts charges roughly $18 per kilogram, or $9 per pound, which 1 pound is roughly half a kilogram. Now going on to the lower arrow, selling by serving, Dunkin' Donuts can produce 72 cups for 1 kilogram, one cup costing $1.60. Now, since each cup of coffee comes with a lid in the cup that costs roughly 10 cents each, what we did to find out the amount of profit Dunkin' Donuts makes from 1 kilogram of coffee beans is 72 times 1.6 to calculate the amount of money they would make by selling 72 cups, 1 kilogram worth of cups, minus the price of lids and cups, not including the labor cost, which equals to roughly $107.80 profit. This shows that when you buy a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, the money goes to the owners of Dunkin' Donuts, not the farmers. To serve your daily dose of black coffee, after roasting the Arabica beans, they roast your coffee at 400 degrees Fahrenheit and then brew it at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. After that, they deliver it to you in a styrofoam cup because styrofoam is the only cheap material that can withstand the high temperature of coffee. There are environmental and health impacts of the intake of coffee and how Dunkin' Donuts serves their coffee.
Okay, so now we'll talk about the health impacts of drinking coffee. Coffee boosts concentration and memory by blocking and taking the place of adenosine. Adenosine causes drowsiness and slows down nerve cell activity within the brain. Caffeine, which is naturally in coffee, connects with the adenosine and it then goes into your bloodstream, which causes nerve cell activity to rise and make you become alert. But high intakes of coffee may cause headaches, and if often consumed in high doses, you may encounter heart problems.
A large environmental impact of how Dunkin' Donuts serves their coffee is styrofoam. Styrofoam has a great toll on the environment because it can last in landfills for between 500 and 200,000 years. Styrofoam is used because it's cheap and it can withstand high temperatures for the use of to hold your coffee. But since styrofoam is a non-biodegradable, it can't break down, so it fills up landfills and it can't go away. Dunkin' Donuts has taken action against their high use of styrofoam, and they will be preventing production and use within the future years to come, but this still has a big environmental toll because it is a non-biodegradable.
Well, that was a lot to go from this to this. Oh well.